Welcome back to Houston Life. Did you know traveling by train is super hot right now in the U.S.? Amtrak is reporting record ridership. And in New Zealand, rail travel is also having a moment. Travel expert Gabe Saglie joins us from the city of Christchurch on the South Island of New Zealand. Gabe, it is so nice to see you. It's been a minute. Thanks for getting up so early with us, by the way, because I know where you are, it's tomorrow morning in the wee hours.
Yes, I'm 17 hours ahead of you, and I can tell you the future looks brighter here, my friend. And I should say kia ora, which is the Maori way of saying hello out here in New Zealand.
I love it. New Zealand is such a beautiful place. People love it as a tourist destination because there's a little bit of everything, right? There's the mountains, you got the hiking, everything in between. Before we talk about your journey there, let's talk about how you got there.
Of course, my first question was that I traveled with my 18-year-old son, Grayson. How long is that going to take? Out of Southern California, is just a 12-hour, 10-minute flight. I timed it on my on a stopwatch. Out of Houston, Air New Zealand flies a 777 Boeing aircraft. It's about 14 and a half hours. But, you know, you get a good sleep, a couple of good movies, Derek, and before you know it, you're in beautiful Auckland, New Zealand. Then I visited this place, very cool, Hangar 22, a secret spot in Auckland where Air New Zealand does all their innovations. Their engineers will get over years develop product. This is the Skynest, which you may have heard about.
Yes.
Come November, from their New York to Auckland flight, that's a 17-hour experience. They're going to be offering this. You can, if you're in economy or premium economy, you can rent one of these the Skynest bunk beds for 4-hour stints at about $70 an hour. So a super affordable alternative to have to go to business class to be able to lie flat for several hours, get a really good snooze, and then get back to your seat. So that's premiering. Those seats are for sale now. Those Skynest beds for sale now, and they launch in November. Really cool crew, very innovative team. This secret little building there in beautiful downtown Auckland.
Really, really cool. I've been so curious about those, Gabe. And, you know, if you could just get undisturbed like a few hours where you're totally horizontal on a flight, you're good as new after that. Okay, so let's talk about the trains. You know I love this because my grandfather was a conductor on the UP Railroad, but getting around by train, I love it because I feel like you can see so much more of the countryside.
Listen, it's convenient because someone else is doing the driving. It's less expensive. It's more environmentally friendly. My 18-year-old son thinks of it as a cool new way to travel. It's one of the more established ways to get around, as we know, but it is seeing this resurgence, and a company out here called Great Journeys New Zealand is leaning into this trend in a very big way, and they offer these beautiful treks across both the North Island of New Zealand and the South Island, which are two sort of very beautiful, distinct destinations. So this is me on the Northern Explorer, which connects the two largest cities in New Zealand, Auckland to the north, and Wellington, the capital of Wellington, on the south part of the North Island. So we're talking beautiful landscapes, river gorges, dramatic bridges. And if these are landscapes, Derek, that if I was driving, I simply would not be able to absorb. And the food aspect, I got to tell you, they serve food and wine that mirrors the region that you're trekking across at that particular moment. This is Joe, by the way, one of the guides there with Great Journeys New Zealand, with the storytelling, pointing out the landmarks. So it's a very immersive, intimate way to know this beautiful landscape. Then I did yesterday what they call their Transalpine train experience, which is on the South Island. And we went from the East Coast to the West Coast. Totally different kind of landscape. Those are the New Zealand Alps, snow-capped mountains, beautiful lakes, postcard perfect sort of alpine settings. Look at these green hills there. This is, again, the South Island of New Zealand, from Christchurch all the way over to Greymouth. And then we went back the same days. You can do this within the course of a day. You can get off along the way. You can add things on, like a visit to a sheep farm, going down the rivers, all kinds of culinary experiences. You can spend the night in one of these little towns. So you can really tailor make it the way that you want to travel, depending on the budget and the time that you have to spend. When it's their spring and summer, so September through May, they offer these super curated, guided, hosted experiences as well. And I've got to say, you're on the train for a lot of this and as much as you want, but you can also add on these on-the-ground experiences as well. And they can last several days depending on where you want to go and what you want to do. One of the really neat things was this cultural experience that I did at a place called Te Patu. Now, the Maori people, the indigenous people of New Zealand, arrived here 1,300 years ago. Then, of course, the Europeans arrived in the 19th century. There is this checkered past of displacement. But now this culture, this Maori culture, is back. There's a renaissance. There's an embracing of this culture. And this Te Patu village is a Maori village where they teach each of their rituals. That's me learning how to do the haka, which tells your enemy, hey, watch out. Or it's a way to greet your guests. So it's an immersive thing. Then you sit down with them at a feast that lasts several hours. So, boy, what a wonderful, beautiful way to get to know this old culture, the Maori culture, that, again, there's a tangible sense on the ground that this is a culture that is now being embraced and celebrated in a beautiful way. And then there's these wonderful nature experiences that we did as well. There's a place called the Redwood Tree Walk, which is in a place called Rotorua in the North Island of New Zealand. These were seedlings 125 years ago brought in from Northern California, planted in this part of the North Island of New Zealand. Because the soil drains so well, because there's so much rain, there's so much nutrient in the ground, these trees grow 10 times faster than they do in Northern California. So now they're 250 feet high. They're connected by 27 bridges. This is just you into the forest for as long as you want. You're breathing in this fresh air. It's just the most escapist thing I've done in a very long time. Forest bathing, you may have heard of it. It's one of those trends. And just you're guided in there. And they've just added, Derek, a glowworm cave. New Zealand is the only place in the world, aside from a couple of spots in Australia, and you go into this cave and you get to see these fascinating little creatures up close and personal that light up when they're in the dark. Again, such a cool thing to do. Redwood Tree Walk there in Rotorua in the North Island of New Zealand.
That is so beautiful. Gabe, we're out of time. Really quickly, you went to New Zealand's only tea estate, and also I hear the culinary scene there is not bad.
This is Geelong, the only tea estate in New Zealand. 30 years ago, they brought a couple of seedlings over from Asia. Now they've got 1.2 million tea bushes. And it's a fascinating place to visit, Geelong. And this is a Jano, a bistro in the city of Wellington. I predict these guys will be featured in the Michelin Guide that just hours from now will be launched for the first time ever out here in New Zealand. The dining, the wines out here in New Zealand, many of which don't even make it out of the country. You got to come down here to taste them, are absolutely phenomenal.
Gabe Saglie, I am living vicariously through you. It looks like a fantastic trip. I'm glad you've had a blast with your son. Please come back and visit us here at Houston Life.
Cheers, buddy. I'll see you soon.
Good to see you. To our viewers, you can plan your trip at greatjourneysnz.com. You can also find Gabe, GabeTheTravelGuy.com.